conscious motives movement, and today is the introduction of who is this conscious motives movement and who am I, and what I stand for and what I represent. Is of course I am Brother Blessed Born, and represent that's that conscious mortals. I mean, those people who want to take individual responsibility and moral responsibility for their own salvation. You know, not relying on someone else to interpret scripture or to, you know, guide them, because let's say everyone is entitled or capable of making a mistake or having a wrong interpretation, because it may have altered motives. You just never know. You just have to depend on yourself. So like I say, just taking care of, you know, taking your own responsibility for your fellowship. I mean, we all want a fellowship. So like I say, a soldier's only sharp and strong as his sword. So we go get that sword sharpened. That's the fellowship that we seek. And we talk amongst each other and go over, you know, what's your take on this? And we get different angles and different perspectives, and that's how we can, you know, a good discourse is there's nothing wrong with that. You can get you know, different opinions, different perspective on things, and then, you know, just go into scripture and find out, or go into common sense and talking things out. So nothing wrong with that. But if you are the only link in that chain, and they say you are the strongest or as weak as your, you know what I'm saying, or strongest or weakest link, then you're the only link, so you can correct that. No one else can correct that. Although we are afflicted by the same curses, we're just not, we have individual purpose of the Most High. So we go to different things. We handle things different, interpretation different, you know, and so that person who is responsible for that is you and the Most High. And that's just what conscious mortal stands for, what I stand for, and what I'll put out there. You know, and principles, the common principle, and basically the only foundation of the principle that we have and I have at Conscious Mortal is discipline. Plan out discipline. I mean, it makes it a lot easier. Organization, nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying being routine, because that's what they try to get you, and you want to step away from it. Being a sheep is doing and following the same routine. But nothing wrong with being organized with it. I mean, praying, that's discipline. You know, that's real discipline. Praying, being obedient is discipline. Submissive, again, that's being disciplined. It's being, you know, being submissive. All that's discipline. I use the comparisons to the military. A military in the army would just be an armed mob if it wasn't for discipline. So you can have all the knowledge or the drive for the knowledge and the want for the knowledge that you want, but if you're not disciplined enough to sit there and try to organize it and plan it out, then it's just a bunch of stuff going on, and it's just erratic thinking. And so simplify your thoughts and then organize them and then apply them, and the Most High will accomplish you. He will help you do everything that you want to do if it's backed by the Most High. So a lot of people ask me, okay, what are my credentials? I laugh sometimes. I tell them I'm an Israelite in a captive land, but a lot of our people are in the mindset of show me or show and prove what your credentials are, what you've done. I've attended many schools, Bible schools such as Payne College in Augusta, Georgia, Bruton Parker College in Mount Vernon, Georgia, Howard Payne in Brownsville, Texas, Kemper in Missouri. I attended numerous Bible schools, regular universities. Just a thirst for knowledge has always been in me. Well, I'm not advocating for learning theirs, because they teach you in elementary school how to read. So I don't feel that you have to go out and spend $40,000 a year on an education to learn something that you can learn on your own. But knowing the mindset about people, that we have to have a paper trail showing what we have accomplished. So I do that. It's all vain reasons. I really don't even bring out my suitcase, but it's all for vain reasons. And because whether we know it or not, we're doing research every day. And by now, at our age, we should have a doctorate in all the research we did by living and stuff we experienced. But again, it comes back to discipline of knowing and how to organize that thought and rationalize and what's really going on, and how to get through a storm that we either place on ourselves by choices we made previous or supposed to go through now just to build our relationship with the Most High. And it all comes back to discipline. Like I said, we have like our people. We get to the thing of if we could afford it. If it's affordable, we go to the best barbershop, spend $40 on a haircut, get $75, $275 quick weave, or if it's affordable. But if it's not affordable and it's accessible, we'll go to a friend around the corner for a $3 haircut, or we'll go to your homegirl around the corner for a $20, whole head sew-in. So what's accessible? So and from going to a prestigious hospital to a free clinic, this was accessible, what's affordable. See, I don't want to be that what's accessible to his people, the Most High people. I want to be that overqualified, underpaid doctor in that free clinic who do it for the love of the people. And so that's why I choose personally to learn all I can learn. Because I think I was 13 years old when I heard the saying, you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. And I took that as a personal challenge to read everything that they gave me, everything they didn't give me, and dissect it. And yeah, the worst thing they ever did was teach us how to read. And now it's time to awaken and to discipline ourselves into building the Most High's kingdom, to building our communities too strong. And if it takes complete separation, then that's what we need to do. Through history and records show and prove that the only time that our people our people were productive and very efficient was when we was completely separated, had our own money, our own black dollar, in the sense of keeping it in our community. And we got away from that because we wanted to fit in, and they came and tricked us and said, okay, well, yeah, we'll march for these rights and get equal. They really didn't care about your well-being. They just wanted that money that they were missing out on, and all the money you can spend on them, and that's showing today. We have the worst living conditions, but we spend over $100 million annually, not even a year, annually, on their products. Now, it's some black-owned businesses, whatever, but what they had to do to be black-owned. So it goes again into the spirituality and the morally correct. But let's say I also I'm an author. I write everything. So I have a book that I'm shopping for. Morally correct publishers. It's called Chronicles of Confusion. What a journey a lost man must travel. So if not, it's just online. It's for viewing pleasures, to read whatever and understand the journey that we must go through to find the Most High. And it's a road that we don't want to travel, but look at the sights we get to see upon. Look at the things we get to learn and teach and use as gathering tools to come get his people and do what we're supposed to do for the Most High. So, okay, now like people ask me again, am I messianic or non-messianic? And I tell you, I keep it just very simple. I'm non-messianic. And I keep it very simple. I stated this many times, and I've said it again, that I'm so simple that others find it complex. I take the analogy and I break it down as simple math. Not divine math, it's simple math. You take a prime number. A prime number is a number that it cannot be broken down, or it's divided by one in itself. And you take one, which is yourself, and you take the Most High, and you add that as a couple. So like I say, as in Isaiah, that's 54, 5, and 6. We are a couple. We are his bride, so that's a couple. We're two. Two is the only even prime number that cannot be broken down. So you and the Most High have a relationship. Y'all two are that intimate that y'all have a relationship. Y'all can't be broken down. But once you start adding in the trilogy and the Trinity, and add all the other numbers and elements and factors in, you are liable and able and assessing yourself to get broke down by all kind of factors. So I keep it very simple. 1 + 1 = 2. That's me and the Most High. That's me and my Savior. That's why I can hold truth, see his words as a creator. Anything else is it's disputable. I can find you a coloring book and argue that point with that. That's literature that we are slaves to literature. We are slaves to what we read. What we know, what we feel is true. We have a creator. Look around you. Look at you every day. So we have a creator, and that's who I keep my praise to, and that's what I deem conscious mortals movement is about. responsibility, discipline for oneself. You can go out there and influence a community, influence one child's life, and a teacher's influence is immeasurable. It continues to grow. You teach someone else, they're gonna teach someone else. So that's a whole metaphorical concept of the Bible, of any literature that is productive literature, and that's the whole concept of it. How to get morally correct to show that light to someone else, to be a motivator to someone else, and stop depending on someone else to teach you and show you what you can read for yourself. I mean, you can spend $100 on the Bible, or you can spend $5 on the Bible, and they all have the same words in it, and they all have different the way they translate it. I can't even say translate, because you really can't translate culture to culture. You can't translate it, but that's a whole different other lesson. But again, the goal of Conscious Mortals Movement is to open up a community center for our people and teach our kids, get our kids off the street for a while, just even a couple hours, and teach them, fundamentals of life, how to better interact with their family, how to balance a checkbook, how to approach a job interview correctly, how to speak. There's nothing wrong with not using slang. There's nothing wrong with basically being set apart. Stop fitting into or stooping down to these devils, because Deuteronomy 7:6 states that we are holy people upon him that should be above all people. So we're stooping down to be like devils who want to fit in, and that's what I feel the awakening is about, getting back. And I see a lot of arguments on the web on who's right, who's wrong, and this, that, and then they make fun of different cultures. That's all the stumbling block. It's all the stumbling block, because the Army don't fight the Navy don't fight the Marines don't fight the Air Force don't fight the Coast Guard. They all are separate branches that come together for one common cause. Now, I've never heard any religious beliefs, groups, faiths, whatever say, oh, we're wrong, but we're still going to worship this way anyway. So everyone deemed they're right. Everyone has the right doctrine, the correct doctrine. So if we didn't have all this division and discrepancies, whatever, that's where we finally get to the truth. The people, they stole your law. We wrote to give it back to you. So thus, you hold what you can deem true, see true, and go with that. Like I say, we all have a purpose, and I'm pretty sure we all was advocates, and very strong advocates, for whatever sin we was into before we came awoken. And so why not be that strong line for the Most High? Why not be that giving all I can? Because he could have took me in the midst of my sins easily out there in those streets, experimenting, college life. I don't even talk about it, because it's like I don't want to, like I say, glorify it anyway, because I know that I was trapped. I know that I was lost. I know I was confused. Didn't know why I was so upset. And I see that every day. I see a brother beat another brother up, stomp him while he's down, then talk about it, and then film it. But I also see him punch the guy who oppressed you, and then they scream on top of him, but they have compassion. Now, I'm not condoning violence, period. I'm just going over my observance, what I see. Trials with Trayvon Martin trials. These people marched to the people who said it was okay to murder the king, and they marched to protest, and when they already said it was okay, you see the confusion we have as people, if we go in circles. We've been marching since 65. Aren't your shoes overrun? Aren't your shoes tied? You sit in line for Jordans. It's time out for other stuff. We need to stand up and fight and stand up for what's morally correct. If not, so we continue to be captive. We continue to be slaves, and we don't even know we're slaves, and that's the sad part. And you see these guys every day, don't understand why they're so upset, don't understand why they can't prosper in anything they want to do. And I understand it's a curse that was placed upon us by not doing his statutes, decrees, and commandments. And we get confused, we get drunk off this wine, these lies they tell, all because we don't care to find out. We don't care who we are. We really want to be rappers. That's what they told you when you was a kid. Rappers and entertainers and athletes. Everybody's heroes was George Washington. They got pictures of him in the Washington. They coming over with him standing up. school and making us pledge and all this stuff here. They really took clever counsel to erase your history. And they give you this nonsense and feed you this here, and you're so confused, you don't know, so you don't care. You just tired of being lied to, so you just fall victim to nothingness, to void, to unmeasurable. You just unmeasured. Your life is just no. You just living. You just here, and that's not what we are here for. We are visiting this earth to do a purpose, do a cause, and we're not doing that because we want to be, shucking jive on TV. And I watched this stuff as research to see my sisters demean themselves. And I'm not talking about uncover their hair. I'm talking about with just the picture of the back shots of the sisters on TV, and they want to be on TV for the wrong reasons, and they being shown in this kind of light. And yes, I have experience in that. I've done the television before, and so I say I have infiltrated a lot of fraternities, a lot of organizations that I had to go, and not for the purpose of just a distraction, but as for research for myself to see what's going on. And so I go back to scriptures like Psalms 119, 104. Through this percept I get understanding, so I hate every false way. And the false way that I had to go to was these fraternities, these organizations, this military. So doing all that research I come back now and I can use that as a gathering tool to tell them what to do or what not to do. I can say, if you do this, young man, you go to jail. How do I know? Okay, I stood up for my rights and I went to jail. And it's not an issue with me to say that. I stood up for something I believe in. I'm not going to urinate in a cup for anyone, regardless of what you say is for. And I'm not going to take. I don't know what you're using my blood or that urine for. That's staying inside me. So, and the fact that people think that we're free, that's the scary part. We're not free. We are. If you're so free, you can't go to the president and say, hey, I hate you. You can't do something simple as that or something as complex as walking outside and speaking your mind. You're not free. And they tell you not free because govern means to rule, to control. You're not free. You're just in a system that you think that you're free because you have the ability to worship Satan. You have the ability to worship and do things that you know it's not morally correct. You feel in your soul it's not morally correct, but you do it anyway because you see the crowd doing it. They teach you on TV, and slowly but surely these clothes are getting smaller and smaller. I know I'm not getting see now. A 34 is supposed to be a 34. A 34 is now a 28, and these men are wearing that. Being the next sex symbols for these elite homosexual cultists. But they don't understand that. They still want to be lost unless they second job and fit in. And but I say that's just the movement of conscious moral again. Like I say, I am blessed born, and I wish Israel all the blessings and everything that's inherited to them, allotted to them. I wish you well. And till next time, shalom.